Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Today's video is a craft with me and we are going to be making Chuckie Tools. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I have absolutely no idea why they are called Chuckie Tools, but I'll explain to you what one is. And I first saw the idea for these on Lollipalooza's channel, and she made some DIY Chuckie Tools months ago now, about 6 months ago, and I made some at the time, and then I haven't made any since and I never shared it with you. So these are examples of DIY Chuckie tools. So I've made mine using the lids from candles. So you can use all different shapes and sizes for these, but basically you want something that you can kind of grip. Makes me think of like hockey pucks. You know when you do like the ice hockey, table hockey thing at arcades, that's what it makes me think of. And what they're used for is if you have any sort of stamping tool. So I've got the Tim Holtz stamping platform, and then you pop your card down in here with the stamps, and you mount the stamps on here. And then to apply even pressure, you use this and you push down and kind of roll it around, and that's the point of them. And I just thought they were a really fun thing to make and a good way to use up sequins and things, because this lid, this was from a Yankee Candle style jar, not a Yankee Candle, but I had to use so many sequins to fill this up. So luckily I had quite a few packets of this pink mix, and I just added some silver stars and some silver confetti that I had quite a lot of from Poundland, I think. But it used a lot to fill this up and make it look pretty, but it's a really nice effect. And then this one was from a slightly smaller candle, but again used quite a bit in there to fill it up. These lids are from Home Bargains candles, and it's got a much smaller area that you fill in, and it's a lot flatter and a lot lighter than these ones, and I thought these ones would take up quite a lot of space to store, whereas this one not so much. So I thought these ones would be a better idea, but obviously you use whatever you want. And she actually then did a video of all sorts of bits and pieces that she'd picked up in charity shops and places, that you could turn into a Chuckie tool. Again, if anyone knows why it's called a Chuckie tool, I can't remember if she explained, but I just find the name really odd. But essentially a stamping tool. And to make these, you don't need a lot, and you could probably substitute some of what I'm using for something different. You need the lid of a candle, whatever size shape you want. So there's 3 different types there, but I've got another Home Bargains lid. And we've used a lot of candles recently. I'll probably keep the lids for those ones. And then you need something to cut the seal off with. So I do have my scissors, but I'm also just going to grab my wire cutters, because if I remember rightly, they were an absolute pain to get off. So just be careful with that. And then what I'm going to use is I'm going to use felt, foam, card and cardboard. You could probably get away without the foam, but I added it as an extra layer. Or you could get away with the felt and not the foam. Use the foam, sorry, and not the felt, but you only need like an offcut, literally enough to cover that little inside circle anyway. So you could use offcuts from other projects, and then you need some sort of pencil or pen. I'm just going to use my Niffler pen just because it's easier for me to use a pen on camera, because then you can see what I'm doing. And then the other things that you're going to need is some sort of adhesive. I'm probably going to use E6000 just because it's open and I was using it on another project a minute ago. It probably would work with hot glue, but I just did a DIY dice tower as one of my other videos, and I've burnt my fingers like a million times. So I think I'm going to go with the E6000 today. And you're also going to need something to fill the inside of your jar. So in these ones I used mostly sequins in both this one and in this one. But this one I used some gems from AliExpress, so I'm going to experiment with them as well for this one. So I just have some like resin halfback things from AliExpress, and then I've also got from Alina Crafts, these were not gifted, I've bought these, just some crystal and some light blue gems. I'm kind of going for like a Frozen theme and kind of in my head, don't know why. I think because I keep seeing Frozen. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. So first thing I'm going to do is chop this off. And as I say, please be very careful when you do this, because they are a pain. Okay, so now that's off, and if you did have any wax or anything, you might want to clean these a little bit, but mine seems okay. So the next thing you're going to need to do is draw around this. Now I did actually try to use my Niffler pen, but the pen itself was just too fat, so I've just grabbed my favourite pencil. It's a very old pencil, but I like to use things up rather than chuck things away, so I'll keep using this pencil until it is super tiny, and draw around the circle of white card. Then you're going to need to do that for all of your other pieces as well, your cardboard, your foam and your felt. And now the next step, very obviously, is to cut out each of your circles. So I've cut out all of my circles, and I'm not going to adhere them just yet, because the first thing that we need to do is now fill in our lid. And as I say, you may wish to wash it out if you've got residual wax in there. You might want to pop a little bit of embossing powder to make sure that everything shapes. That's completely up to you. But I'm not going to use sequins in this one. I'm going to use some of these gems. So I'm going to pop a few. Oh, I've lost one. Pop a few of these at a time. I think I want more of the little ones than the big ones, because I don't feel like the big ones sit very nicely in the jar, because quite often they're the wrong way around. So let's get sort of a pinch of the little ones, kind of the main bulk of what I want. So that's enough for the minute, and then I'm going to pop in some of these really little silver gems. Got a sprinkle of them, and some of the larger ones as well. I absolutely love these gems. These ones in particular look like little water droplets. I think they're gorgeous. Then I'm going to use a little bit of the blue, but probably a little bit less than I did of the silver, because I feel like I want the silver and the white to shine through a little bit more. A few of the larger blue. And a pinch of those. I think I want a few more of the small silver. And then you don't want to fill this all the way to the top, because you want some movement in it, but you want enough that when you're shaking it, you don't see too much of the card. So this one, you can just see the card when it moves down here, whereas this one, you don't. And that one, you don't either. So let's pop those in, and then let's put a few more of this in. There's a lot of crystals in there. I think I want some more of these little flat back pearly things. Not sure what these are called. Give that a mix. So I feel like I do want a few sequins in this one. I didn't use any sequins in this one. It's just the gems, but then it's just the flat back pearls, but I didn't use any of the clear gems either. And what you can do is just pop a bit of cardboard or something on the back to turn it over and have a look, but you need to be really careful when you do that so you don't throw them all out. So I like that, but I feel like it needs a bit of pizzazz. Let me get some sequins. Okay, let's go for some of these little circles, these little confetti circles, because they're very similar to the gems that are in there already. And then do I want to go stars or hearts? What do I fancy? Oh, what about some of these discs. These would be quite good. I've got a bit of holographic in them. Not too many of those. Oh, dog's barking again. I feel like that's all he does at the minute. Let's go for some stars. Speaks to me more than the hearts do. Little bunch of stars, and then maybe we need some bit more blue in here because it's a very silvery mix. Okay, so we've got some blue ones. I really like these little tiny blue hearts. I think they'll be really cute. Put a little sprinkle of those in. Pinch more. And a bit more. Because why not? I don't believe in less is more. And then I always regret it. Some of these are a gorgeous colour, this one. Just a few of them. And anything else? This is Martha Stewart glitter, this stuff. So we've got hearts and stars. I'm not going to put very many of these in because they often stick and I don't want them to stick in clumps. So just a tiny little pinch of those will do. And then let's give that a bit of a shake. Do I want any white in there? Because there's a little bit of white in the pearls. Do I want any white sequins? Let's see what we have. We have, I don't really want iridescent, to be honest. If I was going to add any white, it would need to be a flat white, which I don't seem to have. I seem to only really have white iridescent. Yeah, I don't really have any plain white sequins. Oh, that's a surprise. Just these ones, and I think they might be a little bit too boring for me. Those ones are a slightly better colour. Just oh yeah, they're all right. That works okay. Pop a couple of those in. Right, let us give it a mix and see what we think. Oops. Don't you hate when sequins literally stick to you? So let's turn that over and have a little look at that. It's nice. It needs colour. It needs some colour. I think pop a few more of these bigger pearls in the blue in there. That's probably enough of those. I don't want any more of those gemstony ones. I think I'm going to go a bit wild and add some of these. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. A little bit more. And this one maybe. Oh yeah, a little bit of that. And a little smidgen of those. Okay, let's see what that looks like if we turn it over. That's a bit better. Oh, threw a few out that time. I still feel like I need more colour. It's too white and silver for me. Let's go for a little more of that. A little more of that. A bit more of that. Maybe some of these blue hearts. Gorgeous. You're probably thinking, I wish you'd sped this bit up. Stop waffling. Just show me what it looked like at the end. Well, I thought I'd put a bit more effort in. The last one I thought was a bit boring. Let's see what we think. Oh, that's a bit better. Definitely got a lot more blue in it. And to finish off, because I'm hoping you'll see more of the blue than the silver, I'm going to put a few more of those in. And a little bit of these. I actually bought these because I bought all of the Harry Potter colours in these gems. And then I've not done anything with them. That's an unfinished project, that is. There we go. Give it a little mix. Give it a little mix. And then hope for the best. That's cute. Just want to see if I can turn a couple of those pearl things over before I stick it all down, because I don't want to see the back ends of them if I can help it. It's not like I can do if they turn around once it's been sealed, but if I can turn it, then I will. Okay, so then the final step to these is literally to glue the different layers on, which I'll speed up so you haven't got to see me painfully gluing bit by bit, but I'll show you the order. So the first thing you want to put down is your card. Now I've done white card on all of them, but I could have done some sort of holographic card or something to have a much nicer back. But you want card first to seal it, and that's what you're going to see when you're looking at it. You're going to see that card, so you might want to use something other than white. Then cardboard. And the cardboard there is to give it that strength and to keep it flat. So when you're pushing down on it, when you're pushing down on your stamp, you've got a nice flat hard surface that's pushing down. The foam, I can't remember if she used that or if that was an invention of mine. I can't remember, but just to give it a bit of squish, a bit of give, so it's not quite so hard on the plastic. And then the felt is purely there because of the soft nature of the material, so you could use any sort of fabric for this, but just to help it glide a little bit more so it moves really smoothly over the top of your platform. So that's the order I'm going to be sticking them in. As I say, if you want to change the colours, then do, and be careful that you don't glue that side down, because then potentially you might see the marks. You want to glue the side you didn't draw on down, and then any sort of marks, because I actually used the back of that card, you want to make sure are not seen. But what I might do, because I'm thinking this might look a bit snazzy, I've got some holographic card. I think I might cut my circle out of that. I'll have to trace one of these because obviously I can't use the glass lid now. I'm going to try this one with a slightly different effect. So let me just make another circle. Okay, so there's my silver circle. We'll see how that goes. And one thing I would just recommend before you glue it together is just to make sure all of your circles are roughly the same, because the last thing you want to do is glue it all together and then find that one of them is really off or really wonky. So they're absolutely fine. You want to make sure that that's obviously going to cover all the foam. So I think I should be all right. So now make sure I've picked up any spilled sequins and whatnot, and then I'm going to glue all of these bits and pieces on. The first layer, I'm going to put the glue onto the glass rather than onto the card, and you want a thick enough bead all the way around that obviously it's going to hold long term, but you don't want it too thick, because two things are going to happen. Firstly, it's going to seep out the sides and you're going to get it all over your fingers. Or secondly, it's going to seep all out on the inside. And then if you notice on this one, some of the gems don't move. That's because they're stuck to the glue slightly. So then I'm just going to gently pop my circle on. And then just put it into position. And now, rather than glue on this one, because I don't want to move that, I'm now going to glue each of these circles instead, because then it means I can move them as I want them. And this time I want to go around the outside, but also try and coat the middle a little bit. And then I'm going to do this all the way over. Make sure you're going as close to the edge as you can, so that you've got a good seal, but just be careful if you are using a glue like this that you don't get it all over yourself. And as I say, you probably could use hot glue. I'm just choosing to use this. Pop that one on, give it a little tap. I'll repeat that for these two. So then the final step is you want to place something, not heavy, but something on that's going to hold all of those layers in place while they dry. And then we'll pop back. That will be sort of touch dry very soon. So I'll come back and we'll have a look at that. I'll just have to be really careful because it won't be completely cured. So with the help of YouTube magic, I'll be back in a few hours. Okay, so it's time for the moment of truth. We move these out of the way. And if you're wondering why I've got completely different nail varnish on, it's been about 3 days since the first part of the video. I completely forgot all about it. This is definitely going to be well and truly dry by now. This was the one I'd already shared with you. And yeah, that one you've seen. This is the one that we made together. So it's definitely going to be well and truly stuck by now. And this is what it looks like. I really like the colours of this. It makes me think sort of winter icicles, frozen, all of those kind of vibes. So I think that's really, really pretty. I definitely prefer these with more than just the like flat back pearls in there, because this one I just think is a little bit boring. So I might actually cut this one open and reuse these and do this a bit differently. But that's the good thing, like, other than a little bit of cardboard and card, which I don't mind wasting, a little bit of foam and felt, which, let's be honest, you've not used a lot. If you do find that you don't like it at the end, it's just very easy to just take it apart, and these are just rubbish anyway. These are the kind of thing that you're going to throw away. Same with these ones. Like, I've used an absolute ton of sequins in here to fill this one up. If I changed my mind and I wanted the sequins out, I'm sure I could just cut into this and then get them out. So it's not the end of the world. I definitely recommend giving these a go. Definitely try them with hot glue if you don't have E6000 or you don't want to use super glue, because I'm sure they'll work just as fine. Just be careful with your fingers. But I think they're really cute. And they're quite smooth, actually. They're really quite fun to kind of move around. These ones particularly make me think of when you're on those table hockey games. That's what this makes me think of. These ones have got a better grip if you're someone that perhaps your joints are not that great. These are going to give you an easier, kind of more ergonomic grip. And then this is like a little travel sized one. So if you're just doing a little bitty stamp, there you go. I wonder if you could make these flat enough that you could mount stamps onto them and then use these as a stamp block. Oh, I might investigate. That'd be really cute, wouldn't it? I don't know what you'd kind of mount this with. What you'd kind of put on here, maybe something laminated. I don't know. And then I'm just thinking how easy they would be to just stamp something with. Oh, I might have to investigate and make some little stamp blocks like this. But yeah, those are my DIY Chuckie tools. I'll make sure that I've linked to Lollipalooza's original video, and I'll also link to the one where she kind of showed where she'd gone thrifting and found all of those different bits and pieces that you could use. And if you make anything like this, please feel free to tag me or comment below and send me to your video or your Instagram, whatever it is, wherever you've shared it, or just tell me about it, because I'd love to hear if you've made anything. I hope you like these. It's just a really quick, super easy project. And I will see you all in my next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you very, very soon. Love you all. Bye.